Hello, everybody. Once again, this is us, the Nola Nerds. I'm Matt,
I'm Chris.
and this is welcome to whatever number this is. I don't know.
Read the fucking internet. It's
A
on
video. Why do you have to be so rude?
there. Cause
Seriously,
what?
you're such a dick. Like
Not a
all the
dick.
time. Yeah, you should start right off. I'm an asshole. Like we're like good cop, good bad cop. Like there's
Yeah.
just no debate about which one's the dick.
Or if you read Earth 1, it's bad cop, which I did.
Very proud of you. High five.
Call me a dick. I don't really want to high five you. So we're talking about the Avengers.
High five in the face. We're good. No, we're not. We're talking about Marvel's Phase 2 initiative. Phase 1 is finished with the success of the Avengers, with the gigantic collection coming out.
Mega success, I think is the right word.
Friend of the show, Chelsea St. Juniors, just finished coming back from San Diego Comic-Con, much to our burning jealousy, because for it was going to be our 5th year, and we couldn't go, we couldn't get tickets, but she went in our stead, and she actually got to order the giant set.
Mm-hmm.
So that's neither here nor now, or nor there, or something. You know, whatever.
Here nor there.
Yeah, that's the phrase I was looking for. But one of the biggest panels of the con was definitely Marvel's Phase 2
Initiative.
The initiative.
They love the initiative.
Oh, they do. But this is the panel that had everyone talking. This is the one where, because Marvel's actual comics panels were apparently quite lackluster, but their movie panel blew everyone away.
With good reason.
And we are here to discuss the movies that we'll be enjoying over the next 2 to 3 years, as we all eagerly anticipate Avengers 2. These are the movies that are going to be setting it up.
Indeed.
The first one is going to be, of course, Iron Man 3.
Yep.
That was the biggest one because it's the one closest coming out. The big
Coming out May of
announcement,
next year.
biggest announcement is Ben Kingsley is definitively playing the Mandarin.
Yep.
Who was hinted all the way back to Iron Man 1.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they showed the concept art of all 10 mystical rings. So that's going to be very interesting.
They've also shown leaked shots of AIM being a part of the movie.
Which is important. And also leaked shots of
Iron Patriot.
Iron Patriot, which I love. What a great costume.
It looks really good.
It was a great just design. And while I didn't really care for Norman Osborn in it,
Thankfully it's not.
Which won't be part of this storyline, but just in the comics, I loved the design overall. It was great. So that's going to be interesting. Iron Man 3, it doesn't have a subtitle, huh?
Just Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Okay.
It's coming out May of next year.
But now we get into the subtitles.
Oh, yeah. A lot of subtitles were announced. We're starting with Thor, The Dark World.
Which we know practically nothing about, except it's being directed by the Game of Thrones guy.
One of the main directors on Game of Thrones is taking over.
Which, I mean, what better director to have take over a Thor, which is essentially a fantasy medieval thing with gods anyway.
I can only assume the Dark World refers to something to do with hell.
Think so?
Hela, yeah. I can only assume. I mean, literally, there's nothing about this movie. We don't know anything about it.
The Dark World,
except that Zach Levi's going to take over one of the Warriors 3.
Really?
Yeah, he's taking over the Errol Flynn looking guy.
Hey, that's awesome.
But beyond that, meh.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, that's coming out in August of next year.
It'll be interesting to see if that plays into our predictions about Avengers, where Loki is going to use Thor 2 to secure the Infinity Gauntlet for Thanos. We're going to see if that plays anything to do with it.
We all got to assume they're all building up to Avengers 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what everyone's going to be looking at these movies. No longer standalone films, but how is this going to set up Avengers 2?
Exactly.
And I think that just adds a whole other layer of fun to these, is that you're just going to constantly be looking forward. Like, you're going to enjoy what you watch, but then you can break it down and analyze and figure out how it's going to play into the next crossover. It's so cool. My personal favorite announcement of this initiative has been Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Because we always knew that the second Captain America movie would deal with his fish out of water syndrome, which him adjusting to waking up in the future and being completely outdated and all of that. But Ed Brubaker's Winter Soldier run was such a cool concept because you seen the first one, you knew Bucky wasn't dead. There was no body. They were doing experiments on him on the train.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you knew he wasn't going to die.
No.
Well, maybe if you didn't know anything about Captain America. But if you do, you know that Bucky comes back as a brainwashed... we don't know if they're going to adapt the actual story, but the gist is he is brainwashed as the Russians get a hold of him and they brainwash him. But I'm going to assume it's going to be Hydra this time.
Right.
Probably just for simplicity's sake. It's going to be Hydra is going to find his body and brainwash him to be the Winter Soldier because they love the irony of using Captain America's sidekick to pull off evil assassinations and stuff. And then he's going to come into conflict with Captain America, and he's going to risk everything to bring his friend back.
Yep, that's pretty much how the comic went. Again, we can only assume that's how the movie's going to go.
I mean, when you tagline your thing, Winter Soldier, it leads... Unlike the Dark World, which is very vague,
nebulous.
Winter Soldier has a definitive, like
story you can take from it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they could do something completely weird.
They could.
But
we know Bucky's coming back. Because there's no other way to play out the Winter Soldier. And,
there's only...
I mean, to be fair, they haven't announced anything other than they flat out said Bucky did not die.
Mm-hmm.
So, we basically know Bucky's coming back. And I'm okay with that.
Yep. What?
Next, we have... what I'm really looking forward to is Edgar Wright's Ant-Man.
Yeah, this one kind of doesn't fit in with the whole Phase 2 thing because the others are building up to Avengers, and it looks like Ant-Man is just going to be there.
I don't see how it can't...
I mean, I'm sure it's going to tie into it, but like the others are like super mega tie-ins, and this one's just going to be like, oh, hey.
Well, it's pretty much assured by now that Ant-Man's going to be part of the Avengers by Avengers 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't know what Ant-Man's standalone story is going to be, but he showed test footage at the panel that apparently went over extremely well, showing Ant-Man using his size powers.
Science.
Oh, yeah, that is gross. Yup.
Blowing your nose on camera. Awesome. Yeah, Edgar Wright has been talking about Ant-Man since Shaun of the Dead, pretty much. So, the fact that they're now getting even something close to a green light...
It means
great.
It's just going to happen. So, yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited just because it will lend credence to what I assume will eventually be the ultimate villain for Avengers 3. Ultron.
I can't wait to watch Hank Pym fuck up on the silver screen.
I know.
He's going to do it.
Because here's my prediction. It's Thanos. He's invading Earth. Hank Pym's going to build this robot to help them fight.
Right.
And then after it helps them win, it's going to gain sentience and become evil.
Right. As it
Ultron.
does.
Bam.
Always.
Because, I mean, what else could they do for Avengers 3?
Mm-hmm. World's about to break.
The only other thing I would ever accept is Galactus comes in after Marvel reacquires the rights to, like, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, and they just do a gigantic universe
4-hour-long movie.
Just epic. No, they'd split it into 2 movies, a la Harry Potter and
Twilight.
Nope, like Matrix.
Or like Hunger Games. Third one, Hunger Games.
That's right. Okay. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The biggest surprise of this initiative...
It is definitely a surprise.
...is people were expecting the safer bets of, say, Doctor Strange is getting his own movie because that's happening. Or Black Panther, because that's happening. Those still might fit into Phase 2. Even the rumored Power Man Iron Fist team-up movie. But instead, and I guess when you accept the fact that Thanos is an intergalactic threat, it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. We're getting a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which, even to us, is vague.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
it's...
When Marvel Annihilation, the big cosmic event by Damnit and Lanning came out a couple of years ago, we were not reading Marvel. So that completely passed us by.
I mean, we know the basic story beats.
Yeah.
It also played into the X-Men Third Summer's Brother, the Reign of Kings.
Who?
Yeah. Anyway, the Shi'ar and Kree War and all that stuff. But
I think Guardians of the Galaxy, I was initially extremely surprised because... It is so not well known, But that really works in its favor because that gives them more leeway to write a better story because now it doesn't have this perception everyone said. It's why the first Blade went over really well because no one knew who the fuck Blade was.
Yeah. And I'll give you that because without all the like we were talking about with Captain America, Winter Soldier, everyone has expectations going in with that.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, there's so many incarnations of them and so many, like, I couldn't tell you. Plus, when you really think about it, it's almost like they were planning to unveil this a lot. Like, they've been sneaking them into popular culture.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon was in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
He just showed up in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
The entire Guardians of the Galaxy showed up in the Avengers cartoon. So, this is not without precedent. Rocket Raccoon is a fucking fan favorite.
Can you imagine seeing him in 3D?
Oh, I can't.
That's weird. If only Peter Dinklage voices and motion caps him.
Yep, that's going to happen. I can't see it not happening. But to give you a quick, it involves Rocket Raccoon, who is a flying, talking raccoon mercenary with a jetpack and a gun. There's Groot, who is a tree.
From a tree planet.
Sentient tree.
Groot.
There's a Drax the Destroyer.
That's the main villain. I don't know who it is.
No, he's part of the team.
I thought he was the villain.
Mm-mm.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. And then there's, oh god, what's his name? I forgot.
I hear Adam Warlock is not going to be in it.
No, it's the Star. He's got a hyphenated name. I don't want to say Star Killer because that's Star Wars.
Moonchild.
Anyway,
Moon Unit.
That's just. I mean, the fact that we can't pull it up off the top of our head just goes to show how little we do know about this.
But it's going to do really well for it because it's going to bring them into the public consciousness.
I'm looking it up right now.
Moon Unit. Yeah, no. I mean...
Nothing.
No.
I don't know, whatever.
It's fine.
Well, we'll break it down later. But Guardians of the Galaxy, it's going to be a team-up book. And this is apparently the one that's going to have the strongest tie to Avengers 2 because it's going to somehow deal directly with Thanos.
I think it's going to... I think in the next couple of years, we're going to see that Avengers 2 is going to come out like 6 months after.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be the movie that was like Captain America, and then bam, Avengers is coming out like right after that.
I think that's what's gonna happen. They haven't announced it yet because we still don't know when Avengers 2 is actually going to launch. But it would be a safe bet. This and Captain America are not coming out to 2014, so that means that potentially we won't see an Avengers movie until 2015.
I would say 15 because you've got Iron Man in 2013.
Yeah. Thor in 2013, Cap in 2014.
And then you have Cap in this in 14, and you have Ant-Man somewhere in between. And that fits with their schedule lately. They've been releasing 2 to 3 movies a year. And especially with the rampant success of Avengers, they're going to try and not have one in each section of the year, I guess. But there we go. That's pretty much all the news that was announced in Marvel's Phase 2 initiative.
It's kind of enough.
Yeah, I mean
that's a. I mean, what did DC announce for their films?
Man of Steel apparently went very well, though, which makes me happy. And they did hint that Man of Steel will have footage that ties it in with the DC universe as a whole.
That's good.
Which, that's what we first predicted when we did our Justice League. You can go look at our Justice League video. We said that the success of Justice League is entirely predicated on whether or not the Man of Steel is the first salvo in the This Is Our Ongoing Universe initiative. And if it's true and Man of Steel drops those hints, we're good. But, you know. I'm Matthew.
I'm Chris.
And I'm sick.
And we are out.
And we are out of here, son. What?
Drop.
Like a hammer?